Randomizer tournament. I'm Siberian Bull on commentary. Alongside me is the great LV Creed. This is our grand finals featuring satokoaddict96 and Charlieboy. Charlieboy looking to go back to back as far as being a champion here. We've come a long way on this train ride, and we're quickly coming to the end here.
Indeed we are. Once again, everybody, I am LV Creed alongside Siberian Bull 9. It's been a long yet kind of brisk tournament this particular year. We're hoping for a great, fantastic match between two high-caliber runners, not only in the randomizer scene, but also in vanilla. Satoko, if y'all been paying attention to Speedgaming over the past couple of days, came in second in the actual vanilla, making it to any % tournament on the difficult setting. So, coming off that, we're hoping to gain first place in the randomizer tournament. So, we're going to be seeing some interesting shows, if I do say so myself.
Yep, right now our runners have been given the green light, so eventually on your screens, wherever you are, you'll see that countdown timer on Satoko's side, because I believe he's using the auto feature in his live split. So when you start seeing that, it's go time, folks.
Yep, and for those that aren't familiar with how the randomizer tournament works, the current settings are as thus. It is, of course, any %, so any and all zips will be active and available with no penalties. The stage select will have no screens on them. That means hidden stages. They will not know which stage they will be choosing until they will select the stage themselves. So right now, and of course you see on the screen, we got tournament mode quote-unquote A, which is basically just all the cosmetics being available to make the visual experience a little more interesting compared to the vanilla. And we do have our, and in a few seconds, they are indeed off.
Well, both the runners opting for quick man here. Looks like Charlie didn't like what he saw initially. But here we go. The first of our race, we already seen some fan fiends here. And experienced runners will know that if you see those fan fiends, be a little careful going down the shaft here, because you may run into one in the third screen here.
Satoko and Charlieboy will make the jump. Fortunately, there were only a frog set with them, which are very big mentals in this case. So no surprise fan fiends making a little bit of an issue for the early goings of Quick. But of course, speaking of, Quick is definitely one of the first stages you'd definitely like to see as early as possible. As you saw on both our running screens, is one of the easiest places to get a very quick safety E-tank throughout for the entirety of the run. And there is another stage, but that all depends if our boys find them, since they don't know where they're going to be selecting after this stage.
Nope, and now that we're resynced, we can see how close they really are right now, virtually here, but we don't know who will really be in the lead. Almost pulling off the Prodigy special there on Satoko's screen.
Yeah, both our runners are early neck and neck. Both of them deciding to take the damage boost on a relatively vanilla-ish Joe armor. And about to go to our first boss room. We're going to see who's our first Robot Master that's going to be in Quick Man's room.
And we haven't mentioned this is actually going to be best of 5, so not best of 3. And it is Elect Man, but actually it's Metal Man in disguise. And he is Buster Soft, and down he goes.
Yeah, completely and utterly destroyed. He's one of 4 Robot Masters that can be softly to the Buster as per the randomization. And both our runners find item 3. And Charlieboy probably finding one of the best stages to potentially use item 3 on, finding wood. Good wood is in play with item 3, assuming that the enemy randomization is favorable to continue it. Meanwhile, Satoko finds another stage that's a pretty simplified stage in Bubble. Don't necessarily need any kind of items to make this stage go faster if you don't have anything. But yeah, coming in without, say, like an item 2 to make some of the horizontal sections a little quicker, it kind of hurts, but it is not all too debilitating in terms of the grand scheme.
Yeah, sadly, sadly, Air Shooter was not a one-hitter quitter for the hot dog, so it's going to be 10 shots for Charlieboy against the hot dogs here, as he's kind of on his last one. Satoko getting the bubble zip with Buster only usage, and he's approaching the Bubble Man door quickly here. Charlieboy does have his item 3 in tow, but he's got to make the check here and make sure there isn't a fan fiend in the way. There is not, so we're going to do it, maybe.
Yep, Charlieboy is indeed going for it, but as we are hoping for safe travels through Goodwood, Satoko's already on his second boss, so let's see who's going to be doing in Bubbles' room this seed. And that is an Airman, and Airman is pretty interesting in Bubble Man's room. Everything, including Robot Masters, are subject to the buoyancy. So yeah, we get a situation that we like to call Velcro Air, where Airman, when he's very, very high, likes to get stuck on the ceilings, making this a little bit of a treacherous fight as Satoko is witnessing right now.
Yeah, sadly that Air Shooter also was no good against this Airman, but, you know, gotta take your time, make sure you don't jump too high, because, well, there are spikes in the ceiling, of course.
Charlieboy successfully taking our vanilla Banana Man. That's our one-man analog. Not finding any items along the way, but you also gotta remember that he also successfully navigated Goodwood as well, so that's a little bit of an early advantage for Charlieboy, as Satoko is still kind of just struggling, inching closer and closer to defeating Airman, which he finally does. But do we get an item? Nope. So no items currently found in either wood or a bubble. Charlieboy going to metal, another decent early stage to find, while Satoko unfortunately kind of finds himself in probably one of our worst stages to find early in heat. But fortunately, as with Charlieboy, does have item 3, so the horizontal section in the second half of the stage should be probably mitigated.
Yep. No, I don't think I know this track.
Yeah, this is something that was in a Mega Man 3 ROM pack, Rockman 3 Claw. It's from a very obscure Gundam game. Definitely something you wouldn't expect in the States.
Alright, well, we're set up, and Lightning Lords are in the hallway here, so don't have to worry about getting blowed past, and zip on through. Oh! Okay, and good thing we have the pause buffer feature when we get damaged by enemies in the current version of Randomizer. We didn't have that in the past, because tackling that Metroid would have meant certain doom for Charlieboy there.
Satoko successfully navigating the Yoku blocks, while we have a crash sighting in Metal Tree.
We certainly see him, but he's certainly gone, too.
Yeah, pretty much just came and went. Instead of high metal by metal, it's high crash by crash. And hello, item 2. Item 2 found in Metal Man stage, so Charlieboy getting some of the goods very, very early on could be very beneficial against someone of run caliber like Satoko, who finds Quickman in heat and gets literally blown away, finding Air Shooter to do a significant amount of damage.
Would that be considered a vanilla usage with that item, or are we going with crash or heat? I don't know. But either way, you know, the ultimate weakness there for Quickman will come in use for Satoko later, as pretty much our runners are now swapping stages the other one was currently at.
Yeah, Satoko going through Metal Man. We'll find the item 2 here, but kind of wish they was able to find this stage a little earlier. Definitely would have made Heatman stage much faster. That's going to be an advantage that Charlieboy is going to be receiving when he eventually goes there himself.
Yeah, definitely don't like seeing Buster immune Shotman, though.
You don't want to see Buster immune anything, considering how this randomizer goes. But
yeah, this is true. This is true, but you know, if I have to pick some, Shotman's on the list.
Charlieboy trying to make his juices out of 2 as possible, but the Puro bots that fall in front of the sky just continuously picking them off, not making the best use of it. But regardless of the matter, Charlieboy has gone to the boss room where we know Airman exists, and we know it's going to be one that clings to the spike ceiling. So we're going to see how Charlieboy adjusts to this fight, while Satoko is going to eventually find that very easy crash, man.
I'm not sure if you saw the hair trigger of barely missing that bullet from I believe it was a Joe, but not hitting it. But oh boy! And much like Charlieboy, Satoko quickly dumpsters Crash Man. Charlie Knight Boy, unfortunately, also not finding a weakness for this Airman, so just gotta take his time to dumpster him. And there he goes. So Satoko getting their item too, and off to Airman stage he goes. And Charlieboy is into Crashman stage.
Noted that Charlieboy took care of Airman a little bit faster than Satoko, who took it quite carefully, rightfully so, might I add, but still a much quicker air flight compared to Satoko. So once again, we can argue that Charlieboy may have quite the early advantage so far. Speaking of, Charlieboy is going for like I said, one of the more recent zips that was fine over the past couple of years. This pause buffering, you're gonna wedge into the wall on transfer and gonna initiate a zip through this scheme. And as you see, Charlieboy successfully navigates this zip, and this would pretty much put us in a state that puts us into our usual situation in Crash, where after a few screen scrolls, you're gonna take the suicide and wind up just going straight into the checkpoint.
Satoko trying to navigate the rest of the stage here, but he's got to deal with Metroids and the change in screen in the air portion of the chain. He navigates it quite well, considering the fact that the Metroids are spawning all the way at the top. So he didn't get tackled into oblivion. So now he's quickly approaching the Airman door here. I don't think there's anything too treacherous. There's birds on the first screen, but he's made his way through Airman stage. We're going to find out who our Robot Master is here. Charlieboy going up the left side, Crash, which he's done in the past, and we're going to take on a Heat Man, and hopefully we have something to do more than 2 damage. Yep, I don't blame him. I did this in my match, I think with Tom, where it's like, you know what, I have time supper, I'm just going to check it anyway. But looks like we're just going to use the Buster, and we're just going to have to deal with the fact that we're only doing 2 damage here. Charlieboy could have gotten his E-Tank. He's going to grab the extra life here to get back after doing the Crash Zip, and he's going to quickly enter the Crash door here in just a moment, and hopefully not get tackled by the Purobot, and into the door goes. And down goes Heatman for Satoko, and there's item 1 from Air Stage.
So all items procured by Satoko pretty much has full range of mobility. Of course, item 1 being our only true randomized attribute in terms of our 3 items. Is height and duration are both random. Of course, the worst case scenario, actually, normally I would say the worst case scenario is a static item 1, but honestly, I think a very slow rising and quickly despawning item 1 is probably one of the worst.
Oh, that's the absolute worst. And you're talking to someone who's also a zipless runner. The slow, quick despawning item 1 is definitely the worst. Meanwhile, both runners are actually in Flash stage. He's also taking care of Bowman there, Creed, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that is true. That has been taken care of. And speaking of taking care of things, Charlieboy trying to take care of things with Time Stopper. One of the new attributes that we added to the randomizer over time, especially thanks to the increased strength of the pause canceling, you can actually cancel out of the Time Stopper at any given time, which is very good considering one of the random elements is the vanilla continuous drain. So with the ability to pause cancel at any given time, that is a lot of energy that you can be saving and a lot of hassle that you don't have to worry about compared to the vanilla Time Stopper.
And speaking of Bubble, there's Bubble right there for Satoko, but he's not keeping him still, so unfortunately it's now on the bottom left. Let's see if it... Okay, yep, there we go. Well done.
Not the weakness, but definitely something that is very, very useful considering the terrain. Bubble Man in Randomizer is very interesting in areas like this because of the fact that Bubble Man only reacts to your horizontal position, as Charlieboy is also exploiting using the buster to pick at his toes. Whenever you're actually in the exact horizontal plane as Bubble Man, that's when he attacks. So if you can actually manipulate that, you can actually make Bubble Man very easy pickings that both our runners displayed in various situations.
Now, I gotta say, Charlieboy's got the slight advantage here, considering their remaining stages. He's got just Heat here, and anybody's got his major items in tow in 2 and 3. But Satoko's got to get through the longer stages in both Wood and Crash, so I have to feel like right now Charlieboy has a slight advantage with their 2 remaining Robot Masters.
Yeah, you got to remember, not only that, you also got to remember that Satoko did not have item 2 for Heat, which further helps towards Charlieboy's advantage. So Charlieboy is gonna ignore all the Yokus, as Satoko had to do it the good old vanilla way. Meanwhile, Satoko having a little bit of issues initiating good Wood here, where Charlieboy was able to do it. It's kind of these little smaller errors that's gonna cause much more time drain as the race progresses.
You know, Charlieboy has made it to the end of Heatman stage here, so he'll be increasing his lead momentarily, as he is about to deal with, I believe. Actually, yeah, I was Quickman. We'll see if he goes weapon hunting, because we know Satoko found Air Shooter to absolutely dumpster Quickman here, as Satoko has done good Wood and will be entering his respective ball store, which was a Banana Man.
Charlieboy off to go on Buster, which is technically slower, but with how Quickman runs around and makes himself pretty exposed, it's not too slow of a fight, actually.
Alright, so Airman and Crashman stages left for our runners. So here we go, as probably going to be about the 18-minute mark when they're both done.
Alright, we're about to see item 1. Oh, this is a nice looking item 1.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on screen 2 here. There we go.
So yeah, fortunately, thanks to the much superior item 1, I would say Satoko definitely got a much faster Crashman zip setup compared to Charlieboy, who had did a Buster style pause buffer.
By the way, I'm not sure if you saw there, but our Heat is actually of the super atomic variety, as Satoko was trying to use it to charge up to cancel out the noise factor to make the screen go black out faster, but it did not.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of the only downside to having a supercharged Heat is not having that extra time to get back from the added death animation. But at the same time, it's pretty much a boon otherwise, as it usually destroys anything and everything in this path. So knowing that information, you can use it as you well see fit.
I might have missed it, but did Charlieboy take a death here?
Nah, he just kind of had a little bit of a off going using the item 2, so it kind of slowed him up a bit.
Well, because of that, they're actually entering the door at the same time here. Satoko slightly ahead. Charlieboy's gonna take that juice box, even though I think it was just no, it was Heatman, because Satoko's dealing with, well, he was dealing with Flashman.
That was insane. That is an ultimate weakness damage.
There we go. Heat on heat violence.
And that is our Oats Wily. Wily's castle getting a little bit confiscated by another villain this time around, as Charlieboy finally makes air. Unfortunately, he does have to take a little bit of a time loss, finding item 1 this late. So, yeah, you know what time it is. Would you like to explain what we like to do in this part of the run?
Well, folks, if you've been here with us since the beginning of time, we play this little game where we guess the color of the dragon, we guess the weakness of the dragon, and for bonus points, maybe guess what our dragon looks like.
So yeah, 6 variations. We got our vanilla, we got 2 pairs of shades, 1 anime, 1 80s style, macho man style. We got our oats dragon, we got our swag dragon, and we do have our unicorn horn dragon, our lovely dragon horn. So as our runners about to approach the dragon, we need to get to guessing. So I'm gonna be guessing one of my classics, True Blue, All Blues, Buster Only, and it's gonna be, that's pretty much it. It's gonna be Swag Dragon.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go with my classic choosing of, gonna be, Grimace, Purple and Green, Weak to Crash, and it's gonna be the Oats Dragon.
So Toko was trying to set up for the vertical wrap in the screen prior to this one. Wasn't able to set it up, so it just opted to go straight to the next climb. Charlieboy take a little bit of a spill getting off place by the top of the ladder. But Charlieboy taking the 4-button route for but somehow messes it up and winds up scrolling back down.
Well, there's our relatively vanilla-ish dragon, but he's, a bit of burnt cinnamon here. But we are looking for a weakness. We're checking on page 2. Wasn't quick, wasn't bubble. We found air. What, did he find air? He found air, but I'm not sure if I use this air.
Yeah, that is a very annoying air. The second tornado is not really beneficial to dealing more damage. But able to get the job done.
As he gets the job done, Charlieboy is about to check with Crash, and, well, at least I get the weapon this time.
And I get Bumpkins, sad face.
Alright, well, off to Wily 2 we go. As Sogo puts that air shooter continues to put that air shooter to use. Yeah, you better fill up that item too. Oh, that's not full. He'll have to jump off at the first ladder here. The upside here is, well, he's not going to check the wall weakness either, but he won't get his E-tank either. So, alternate routes.
Yeah, as we've seen, safeties can be very important in these randomizers, but then again, knowing when to use them is equally as wise. As we've seen in the past, the use or lack of use of our safeties has been pretty detrimental to the winners and losers of our tournament throughout its course. So we're going to see how it's going to happen, and of course, the Pico units has been a prime example of that. We're about to come up to it very shortly, well, assuming that our modes just don't continue to be roadblocks along the way.
Yeah, Boyer from Super Mario Bros. Sent his arrows into the wrong game. But Stoko made it through the fire of arrows and is about to... he thought about it for about a second there. He's like, well, maybe not. I'm pretty sure
he was definitely going for it. He just missed. And I think Charlieboy is also going to go for it.
He's been trying to go for it. Alright, well, we're checking. Not air, not heat, not buster. Metal, not metal. Go check Crash. Not checking Crash. And, well, they both found the lazy leaf.
Charlieboy finding it a little sooner, though. So right now, the advantage is on Charlieboy's end.
Maybe on Charlieboy's end, but Satoko is slightly ahead as far as the Pico count. And
yeah, I was about to say that I think it's vertical inverted, seeing how the things were fired. And both our runners pretty much neck and neck with each other, coming out barely less than a second from each other. So Satoko currently with the slight advantage, but Charlieboy easily nipping on his heels as we go to Wally 3.
Alright, well, they both go into their Lee Shield and looking to stop at pit row here. Charlieboy was trying to check the Lee Shield on the wall there, but I don't think he hit it. So I don't think it worked. Meanwhile, he's pulling out his item 2 to surf across the pipes here. Definitely didn't use chemicals as was this the Game Boy version of Wily 4?
Oh no, this is just in a random arrangement of the second Wily theme of Mega Man 1.
Well, either way, I wasn't going to complain. Either way, Charlieboy has a swap place with Satoko just a little bit as far as who's in our lead presently as he enters the Gutsdozer door first. We're going to see what's the actual Gutsdozer in a moment here. And it is. Oh wait, no, it's the Technodrome.
A little bit of a guest appearance by Dimension X. As Charlieboy is trying to find a weakness, going for second page. Winds up using Crash Bombs, but Satoko finds a completely different weakness.
It was the heat.
Ooh, once again, supercharged heat. Like I said, a very good weapon to eat the test on because you don't have to worry about any kind of charging aspect. You can just shoot and be done.
Both the runners again stopping in pit row to refill. Satoko pulling out that item, that very good item 1 this seed, to propel himself up the ladders here. As pretty much right now a screen separates both our runners as we are in Wily 4. We're about to see how these anxiety rooms treat our runners. Sadly, Satoko is out of item 2, but he's going to try and get the vertical zip here, but he's just off.
Charlieboy gets it first try with the item 1, so once again, the advantage is just swap between our runners. Satoko a little bit off on the item 3 usage. Charlieboy doing a bunch of runs at the ladders that really didn't need to do that. Item 3 is definitely much more efficient and winds up losing a little bit of time because they're trying to do that setup.
Well, we found one shrimp in the screen to the left, so we're going to see if screen 3 here in a moment, how it's going to act. I think Charlieboy has some item 2 in hand, so he should be able to fly across. Oh, but he does not. So both of us got to wait for the conveyor belt to come over and then use their item 1 to propel themselves over. Or Satoko he's just waiting. He's going to do it the Buster only way. So Charlieboy now taking a slight lead here as we are entering the final hall, the long hallway to the boo beams.
And with this item 1, you could probably wonder if both our runners are gonna.
Yeah. Okay. You know he was gonna crash the door.
And Satoko also gonna do it as well. It's all about efficiency. Charlieboy was able to get there, but Satoko getting there a little bit more smoothly.
We are checking weaknesses. Got a weakness? Nope. But
I think it's God enough. That is air shooter as the weakness for our blue beam turrets.
Charlieboy didn't find the wall weakness though. And he will defeat the boo beams first before Satokoaddict. If he gets this last one to hit, there we go. But Charlieboy is the first to teleport out, and into refights we go.
Both our runners literally just on each other's heels as we go to our boss rush. Right now it's going to be about boss execution and seeing if they remember their weaknesses. Charlieboy, not being much of a weakness hunter, might have a little bit of advantage because he could just go straight to the Buster and just go ham. Meanwhile, Satoko has the early advantage in getting the first Robot Master out and done with.
You know what? It's gonna come down to Airman. I don't ask me why, but they both struggle with Airman a little bit, and we'll see if he'll have his Velcro properties here in just a moment. Because I gotta feel that Satoko's gonna try and find a weakness for this Airman. Oh, and he found metal.
Oh yes, a soft weakness. It's definitely gonna do the work. But Satoko.
Oh, he got it done. Now he's gonna Now, I think Charlieboy actually took the lead here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Satoko is definitely in the lead. She has one robot master advantage, I would like to say.
Now we do know that heat violence it was the answer here, and he's finding Crash, but that's going to take a little longer. Charlieboy is just using the Buster to take down that Airman quickly.
A bunch of soft weak flash, so not too much time lost, but compared to a two-hitter quitter with metal on flash, once again, it's these little time saves that wind up gonna make or break these kinds of matches. And with things as close as it is, you need every advantage that you can get.
And we're both on our last Robot Master. Charlieboy is menuing because he wants to get that zip at the end. I don't know, but you know, right now he's allowing Satoko be into the machine first. Right now, gonna fill up on that leash shield just to be safe. He's hoping Crash Bomb is going to be the weakness here. He wants that explosion.
The explosion was bad, but looked like it might not be necessary. Yep, and it was a god weakness. Both phases were weak to Crash, and Satoko is first to victory road. So it's just a one stretch before we get to the actual Wally fight. And with this Item 1 and being a vanilla 80% runner, yep, Satoko is definitely going to go for the Wally 6 zip.
Alright, well, Charlieboy just found metal for the second part of the machine, and yep, Satoko got it. Don't over. Alright, into the door he goes, taking on Dr. Oates here, and now he's just got to find the weakness before Charlieboy gets in there.
Yep, one weakness to rule them all. It's only weak to one weapon and one weapon only. So the question is, can he find the weapon faster than Charlieboy is able to get to the screen?
Yep, there you go. That's what you gotta do, because you know that air's gonna miss. There we go.
And that is GG Satoko finishing in first place with a very brisk 30 minutes and 4 seconds, according to racetime.gg. And there's Charlieboy coming up not too far after, finishing with a 30-21. So very good times, very close between our runners, less than 20 and we're probably gonna have ourselves a good one. And remember, this is best of 5. If we get quality throughout like this, it's gonna get interesting very quickly.
So give us just a moment, folks, as in the background we gotta set up for the next race. And any road runners want to take a break, maybe we here in the booth need to take a break, but you know, just hold on. We're gonna set up for race 2 here in just a moment. Alright folks, we're back. This is, once again, the Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament. I'm Siberian Bull 9 on commentary. Alongside me is LV Creed. This is Game 2 of our Best of 5 Grand Finals between Satokoaddict and Charlieboy. Satoko taking the first game of this Best of 5, pretty much just making a slightly better decision in his refights, I like to think, in order to get the win on Charlieboy. But right now, this is Game 2. We gotta brush aside. We gotta come back strong if we want to see more out of this from Charlieboy. But right now, the gates have been loose, and our runners here on your screen, wherever you are, will be going off here in just a moment.
Yeah, Charlieboy not too far behind, as you said. Less than 20 seconds between our runners in Game 1. So Charlieboy proving that even though Satoko definitely has high caliber Mega Man 2 vanilla chops, the Randomizer is a different beast, and Charlieboy is proven with his experience and being a former tournament champion in his own right that Satoko is gonna need that and more to keep Charlieboy at bay. And as we see, the clock has finally gone to 0. We are going straight to work, and Charlieboy finding Flash. Definitely a much simpler stage in theory compared to Airman stage, which is where Satoko is found.
Well, at least our Shotman aren't Buster immune, unlike last stage. Otherwise, this would be very annoying to start off. And your favorite type of enemies.
Yes, crabs in there. A classic. I mean, the crabs are definitely very manipulable. You know where they actually come and spawn, but in open area sections like this, they are an insane pain to deal with. But Satoko able to navigate it with not too worse for wear. Going to the checkpoint.
Admittedly, it was the first one that scared me the most, but it is, this is the type of game where you got the strongest toe in video games in Mega Man. So he found the edge of the Tiki and made it down, and this is not a good idea, trust me. Just let him fall.
Yeah, anytime blockies are more than 2 hits, you pretty much just got to let it go. Unfortunately, this is going to slow up Satoko quite a bit because he can really only take 1 hit from literally anything. Meanwhile, Charlieboy going through Flash, back to see who's in our Flash room, and we have found Wood with a false start leash shield. And pretty durable.
Now we have to make a note real quick. Charlieboy finding out real early here that the fact that our walls are in fact Buster immune. Or sorry, weak to the Buster, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not gonna work out. You're just gonna, yeah. So right now Satoko is gonna be in the hole here behind Charlieboy, as unfortunately getting beat up the way he did is put him in the hole as Charlieboy is finished off air stage. He didn't get an item out of air stage, so into the woods he goes, but it's a long walk now again for Satoko through air stage, as blockies just being jerks.
Yeah, that's what the Rando can do if you're not well equipped for it. All it just takes is one bad situation to make everything completely snowball, and Satoko unfortunately wound up finding that consequence out pretty early. He's trying to take the damage boost, trying to make up as much time as possible, but this could be another big factor, as not much of a drop, depending on who's upcoming. It could be a bit of an issue.
And it's a bubble, but is it a huggle? It is not a huggle.
But it's also a low-lying bubble. He only can take 1 bubble hit.
And he got the double, so that means he's out of there quickly. So guess what, folks? He gets item 2 for his trouble.
Massively rewarded. Makes the whole Airman situation a little less painful, getting a very useful item very early. But you gotta think on Satoko's mind, he does not like being behind in this particular situation. That was a very long Airman stage.
Yeah, but item 2 is going to only do so much, as Charlieboy is quickly approaching the end of Woodman stage here. Also, once again, we got the Super Atomic Heat here, so no charging needed.
Yeah, the fact that Charlieboy did not have any items for a Woodman stage can once again be a pretty big benefit to Satoko, as if the ordering goes right for Satoko, good wood is on the table, and that could make up quite a bit of time, as once again we got some heat on heat violence. Heatman going pretty much cooled down by his own heatness, but Charlieboy finding item 3. But that's item 3 in a spot that you would like to have it, considering good wood.
Yeah, well, if Satoko was going to have to find item 1 then, and hopefully it's a decent item 1 in order to do the good wood. But right now he's quickly approaching the end of metal stage, where Charlieboy's just beginning, and we're going to find out who's on the belt waiting for him. Hopefully it's someone not too terrible.
About to find out in a few seconds. So who is in our conveyor-laden metal room? It is Quickman this time around.
And he is Buster Soft, and he's pretty much at his normal speed, and he, gone.
Yep, just came and went. No big issue. And no item here in metal. But in Satoko finding Quickman stage, find it as early as he did, not too shabby. Gonna get an E-tank and some extra goodies along the way. So this is a pretty fortunate situation for Satoko as far as just luck of the pick in the stage select. Charlieboy about to also face off against this Quickman. Should have equally as little problems since it's Buster Soft Quick. As Satoko making his way through the corridors of Quick. Yeah, pretty easy Quickman corridor to this point. Of course, you still got to survive the beams. Both our runners should be well adept to this kind of stage, so shouldn't be any problem with Satoko unless some kind of trip up happens.
Just marking metal there for us real quick. So into bubble, Charlieboy does go into, hoping to find, I guess us for the viewers, we're gonna see if item 1 is here waiting for us as Satoko pulls out that item 2 to fly away to the end of Quickman stage here, and we're gonna find out who awaits us here. Charlieboy is gonna set up for the Buster only zip here in bubble, and we got ourselves some metal. Not weak to the. I think we've all done that. We see the P where the time stopper is. We hit it, and it's like, oh, it's time stopper.
Softly, but still relatively easy pickings. Just continue the shots in. That's pretty much a Metal Man down. Item 1 still MIA right now as he goes to Flash.
Well, we know it's not going to be here, but he will find out the information about the crash walls when he takes a shot at them, if he does take a shot at them.
Meanwhile, Charlieboy is about a few screens away, about to go into our Bubbleman boss room. Gonna see what kind of Robot Master lies in right there.
He knows. So both the runners down with the knowledge that the crash walls are weak to the Buster. Into the bubble door we go, and we got ourselves a Crash Man, who is actually our variant that we like to refer to as Dumb Crash, because the way Crash Man generally works is, well, he's going to get destroyed by heat. The way Crash Man generally works is that he reacts to when you press the B button, the fire button, but when he's not reacting to that, he's pretty much a sitting target.
Charlieboy finding Quickman, that's once again familiar territory. We already seen that on satokoaddict side, and we also know that there is no item 1 here in Quick, so once again we have very little options. Right now, the only places that we can assume it is in are either Crash or Heat.
The best kind of stages it could be in. And I mean that with all sarcasm. Alright, well here's Woodman for Satoko with that false start. I'm not sure with that false start lead. Okay, you want to be careful about that. You don't want him going all the way over.
And that's why we don't want him going all the way over.
Woodman used tackle.
So, a little bit of history about why Flashman's boss room is arranged this way. In the earliest settings of the randomizer, robot masters can literally get stuck on the vanilla ceilings in Flashman's room. So, in order to mitigate it, Duckfish, the originator of this randomizer, decided to, oh boy.
He's just done it now. He's stuck now. This is why you got to be careful about that, because yeah, Woodman will jump again when you pause, but you don't want him jumping too much.
Yeah, the reason the ceilings are done is to prevent high jumper robot masters from getting stuck in the ceilings. Unfortunately, thanks to this, we do have to deal with this weird little wraparound, and it causes interesting situations like that.
I mean, generally, the two robot masters we generally see jump too high and cause trouble with that because of the open room in that stage would be crashing quick. But if you know how Woodman reacts, yeah, you'll get situations like those. Anyway, Satoko now going into Crashman's stage. He's gonna set up the Buster only zip here. Is he gonna get it? Looks like he's got it.
Yep, and does the very quick variant, gets it first try. Gonna be skipping the entirety of the moving platform rooms. It should be good to go, but with those deaths, I hope he does have the lives to commit to it.
But right now he's very far behind, as he's pretty much at this point a full Robot Master stage behind.
Toggle trying to use item 2 to his best benefit, using it as a platform to try to ignore the very slow ladder climb that is vanilla Mega Man 2. Probably gonna go, is he gonna go to the left side? Yep, gonna stick to the left with item 2 available instead of item 3. Going to the left side is definitely the way to go to try to make the fastest possible climb, to try to gain some extra time back.
Charlieboy expertly getting through the tin cans here at the end of Airman stage here. Satoko getting their E-Tank, gonna go up the left side again and get their extra life back, as Charlieboy now deals with Boobly Man in Air Room. Yep, gonna pop that juice box. He's hoping for another heat attack on Robot Master. It'll be 3 weak to heat. It'll be funny, but down goes Bubble Man to the Buster, as Satoko enters the Crashman door, as we see Flashman there, and he's weak to Flash. As we are switching our music over towards Charlieboy right now, since he is indeed in the lead. And into Heatman stage we go, and guess where item 1 is?
So, yeah.
And both our runners are there now, but go ahead, Creed.
Nah, I was pretty much disagreeing with what you were saying. Thanks to a process of elimination, item 1 is indeed in its vanilla spot in Heatman stage. So our runners are gonna have to take that for what they will. Satoko will have the extra benefit of probably having item 1 for Wood, assuming that item 1 is the best variant for it. But otherwise, it's still Charlieboy with a significant advantage, once again, as SB pointed out, 1 Robot Master up. So right now, it's pretty much just Charlieboy's reach to screw up at this point, and these prop top items making life easy at the current moment.
Satoko opting to use that item to get through the section here. Fortunately, item 2 getting away from him just a little bit. And he's going to, yep, there you go. I don't think he's going to be right on the edge there as far as with his item 2 left. So he's going to be very careful when he starts doing this section here. Charlieboy does have enough, so we've got to watch Satoko's energy here and see who's going to be there to make it to the end and jump off. There we go.
Pausing for safety, making sure that you get maximum distance, like in vanilla to vertical momentum is reset upon pausing. So definitely making sure that you get maximum distance from pausing is definitely a way to go. As both our runners about to face our boss in Heatman's room, which is our very scary looking airman, who is boss yourself weak, so we don't have to look at that bug for too much longer.
And as of on cue, there's our item 1. So two stages left for Satoko, with him going off into Woodman. 1 left for Charlie, which is indeed Crashman stage. Charlie actually, and I don't mean to say this lightly, is clearly on a sub 30 pace here.
And item 1 is looking pretty manageable. We're definitely probably going to see a 7-screen zip attempt here.
It's a bit slower, but you can get what you want out of it. Yeah, it definitely has a shorter fuse, I should say. But Charlieboy does do the zip, as Satoko is going to try and do the zip here in the early portion of Woodman, so he doesn't have to deal with the doggos. But again, that timer is just not enough.
Nah, it's all about positioning, and Satoko does get it correctly. So Satoko, being a highly skilled and high caliber Mega Man 2 runner as he is, using item 1, getting in top of the screen to do perfectly executed dog scrolls, and it's set up for good what prior, which Charlieboy did not have access to, thanks to not having any items that allow that to work, and Satoko begins to get to work.
Yeah. So that allows Satoko to get a few seconds caught up on Charlieboy, but again, the problem still remains. He is the entire Robot Master behind Charlieboy.
Charlieboy going full left side as his usual MO. Hardly ever goes for the right side.
Especially nowadays.
Satoko finding heat. Finds that it's soft buster weak. Probably gonna go for that.
Yeah, sometimes you see the Buster soft weak heat. You tend to just go for it. And looks like Flashman was also Buster soft, but both Robot Masters getting dealt with in their respective manner. But Charlieboy is the first of our 2 runners right now to enter the castle stages. So, Creed, it's your turn as we get to see the best eyebrows in gaming.
Yep, this time Dr. Wily takes his castle back from the Oatsman, so we get our proper Wily castle. And yep, time to get our dragon stuff again. So let's see. How about we go for a grayish dragon? It's gonna have 80 shades, those Macho Man Randy Savage shades, and it's gonna be weak. Yeah, let's see supercharged heat that we've seen on screen right now.
Well, I was gonna say, but I think someone in chat beat me to it. So let's see. We're gonna go with an orange reddish looking dragon, and it's gonna be weak to. And I like my game. I like my page 2 gambits. I got it last time with Crash, so we're gonna choose metal this time. Oh, and it's gonna be the Dragon Cord.
Charlieboy is trying for the vertical wrap here. I don't know if this item 1 is gonna be suited for that kind of action. Maybe for the second to last screens before the dragon, but for this particular set of screens, probably not gonna cut it. But even so, they were probably too low anyway to even try to utilize it. Meanwhile, Satoko finds our Crash. Gonna be do some weakness hunting. Gonna be a little bit careful.
Yep, he found it. I was gonna say we do know heat is the answer. And Charlieboy does not get his vertical zip there, because he's a greedy boy.
Once again, it's time that Satoko desperately needs to try to get back in it. As Satoko begins their assault on Wally Stage 1. Charlieboy taking pot shots from our Latvians here. Fortunately, the small frogs do 1 damage, but they still slow you down and knock off ladders. So it's a lot of pause buffering.
But either way, he's made it up to the ladder without, you know, with a bit of struggle. We're going to take a look at this dragon finally, see what it looks like. That's a combination of our choices from last season. What's going on here? Outside of the green joints. And he's busted.
I am upset. Pretty much just literally won a dragon fight early.
It's like it got it has my sprite choice, but it's got your colors and your weakness.
Regardless, the Buster Weak Dragon is pretty much a godsend, and Charlieboy is going straight into Wily Stage 2. Satoko might be going for the vertical wrap, and just puts it right in the perfect position to do it successfully. Does not have to worry about any of this frog nonsense, and will be fighting the dragon very shortly. Once again, gaining a bit of time on Charlieboy, but once again, the early game proving quite a bit of a surmountable situation for Satoko, as Charlieboy is already halfway through Wily 2.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this quick boomerang that Satoko is presently on that he's going to try and use. Oh my god, it does damage too. And it's done.
Whatever gets the job done, you ain't complaining.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever gets the job done. Also, shout out to our good friend Daggett, as Charlieboy eats his E-tank when he didn't mean to.
Charlieboy about to make his way to the Pico units. Is he gonna go for the suicide drop one more time? No, not this time. That was a full motion to the left, not chancing it. Oh! About to say you gotta be careful about Satoko's position among them bullets. But meanwhile, Charlieboy is in a little bit of a more precarious situation.
Yeah, but Pico is here to ruin everyone's day. But we are 1-to-1 air shooters, so you know what? I'll take it.
Not only 1-to-1, but the weapon consumption is amazing. 1 unit per tech, per 1 death per Pico. This is definitely the best weakness out of the potential 3 that the Pico units usually have.
One more. Someone got too close and wanted to hug it. It felt bad. Anyway, off to Wily 3 we go for Charlieboy, as Satoko is going to find out about the Pico units, and he's probably not going to be happy about it. Nope, he wanted a suicide drop there too, but didn't get it. Charlieboy refilling their air shooter, and am I hearing Where's Waldo?
You know, I kind of wish I knew. It's one of those situations where Quantum and I dug through so much music, everything that's not instantly recognizable by me just gets lost in the current of music that we added over the past several months leading to this tournament.
It sounds like Where's Waldo, but I'm not an expert here. Meanwhile, Charlieboy is about to reach the garage door. Satoko finding out about that air shooter and having a good time actually with Invisipico, so he's out of there. But again, we are a stage behind. And in the door Charlieboy goes, and it's Bowser on parade this time.
We have our other guest star. Just a bunch of lemons to the face.
What? And again, I don't have the math, but I swear if the weakness for the dragon, whatever the weakness for the dragon is, there's a good chance it's the weakness for the dozo. I don't have the math, but it just ends up happening that way sometimes.
To be more right than not, but the fact that it's still a random weakness, it kind of pulls the statistics a little off. But it's still a good game to try.
Alright,
Gone.
Okay, well, anyway, into Wily Ford, Charlie goes as Satoko is about to enter the Guts Dozer, and he is on his Buster, so he'll be able to give Bowser a face full of lemons. And up the ladder we go for Charlie.
This time using the item 3 to try to get to the ceiling. Barely makes it, but really didn't get much of the horizontal zip that you would normally get if you maximize the distance to the ceiling after you jump up from the item 3. But
we had Springer enemies in the first room, so that's probably not a good sign for the second room. I don't know if he has any item 2 on hand.
I think he has some item 2.
Oh, Lightning Lords, never mind. Well, either way, he's gonna pull it out and he's out of there. Well, that was too bad. And I was saying, I'm not sure you want to use that item 1 considering how quickly it dissipates.
Or anyway, and does successfully make the vertical wrap? Or at least he thought, but the positioning was unfortunately a little off and winds up scrolling right back down.
Alright, well, Charlieboy knows about the wall weaknesses being Buster weak, but we are probably going... No, I think he's just going to destroy the walls first, and then do the boo being weak. Oh, well, what do I know? On the metal we go! God weaknesses, let's go! Not metal? Not leaf. Well, I'm surprised we didn't check air considering the verticality of the back two. Well, they're not weak either.
Yeah, it wasn't it anyway, so...
Crash!
Look at my second page! Yep, it's Crash! Vanilla Crash for the walls. I mean, for the turrets.
Well, at least that... I'm glad that Crash Bomb explosion destroyed the moving, as we've had in the past, where the explosion didn't exactly do its job, and Charlieboy's gotta be careful. There we go.
To do the pause canceling to make the turret phase through upon the teleport animation. Once successfully getting through, and now the first to enter the boss rush.
Alright, so despite hopefully nothing too terrible happens to Charlieboy, but right now, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but he's got this one in the bag as long as he doesn't make any incredulous mistakes.
Douglas has got 3 more turrets left to destroy with them. Oh, so Douglas wound up going to the wrong screen, but finally corrects the weapon usage mistake. Finally gets out of the moving room, and now about to start his boss rush in a moment, while Charlieboy should be taking down Quickman by the time he gets to Satoko takes on his first Robot Master.
Yeah,
so
that's his 4th Robot Master now for Charlieboy. As you said, he's on his first, as they were both going left side, so on the Crash Band, Charlieboy goes next, even though he does actually know the weakness for some of these. See? You know, those heats work for Crash. I know those heat works for heat. And I always like seeing the hurdling flashman. There's heat. So more heat on heat lines. Here we go.
Down goes heat. One more Robot Master for Charlieboy. Satoko still got a number to go, halfway through his boss rush. So Charlieboy not gonna dig for weaknesses. Once again, kind of digging for weaknesses in this case could save or lose time. Depends on how much the weapon dive winds up taking. But regardless of the matter, Charlieboy, all 8 robots down, like the Walla machine, is it weak to the Buster?
Nope. Not heat. What was heat?
Is it weak for both phases?
Well, Charlieboy's gotta be careful. He's trying to hug the machine. And he doesn't have any E-tanks in tow.
One Bubble Butt can't take another hit.
Oh, man. Creed over here having a heart attack because of the 1 health left on Charlieboy's health bar there, but he does make it through and takes down the machine. And into Victory Road Charlieboy goes, as Satoko is about to take on the machine. So again, barring any major mistakes on Charlieboy's side, he should be able to wrap this up momentarily.
And here we are, 1 alien away from victory goes Charlieboy, as we get a return of our Oats alien. Oats alien not done with our boys yet. Charlieboy taking his first crack. Gonna do the second page gambit. Second page gambit does not work, so we're digging through the first page, searching for a weakness. It is not leaf shield, not air shooter, continue to die.
Buster! If only just went there third. Notice I didn't say first, I said third. But anyway, down goes the alien, and again, sub 30 pace. That's an official race time, GG time, and I gotta pull it up here.
I got you. It is 29:52, so indeed a sub 30C from Charlieboy, making up big time for the first race against Satoko. So, just yeah. Satoko is about to fight their own. Once again, we already know that Buster is the weakness. It's just a question of how soon Satoko's gonna find it. And finds it immediately, so definitely a faster fight. But once again, it was Charlieboy that rules the day, where rules this particular round. And Satoko coming in with an official raceturn.gg time of 30:45. So this time about less than a minute separating our two runners, as we gonna begin getting set up for race 3. So everyone, once again, sit back, hang tight, because we are getting at least 1 more match. We got 4 matches incoming at some point, so we're in it for a while. Hang tight, folks. We'll be back. And we are officially back. Welcome everyone, this is your boy LV Creed here alongside Siberian Bull 9, bringing you match 3 of our best of 5 in our grand finals of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament for this SGL 2024 season. As you saw just recently, Charlieboy pulled it back immediately from Satoko after a very, very close race 1. And now we're basically in a 4-race situation where one of our runners will have the advantage going into that match. But right now, SB, what's your take on what we're seeing right now?
I know we keep telling our viewers that this is supposed to be best of 5, but we're back to best of 3.
Actually, that is true. You are right. Thanks to both our runners in that format.
But either way, Satoko is just having a rough time. I'm just going to credit it up to the Woodman in Flash Room that just kind of messed with him too much. And I just put him in the hole. He was pretty much a stayed behind the rest of the way, even though it ended up looking close at the end there. But that Woodman in the Flash Room just really messed up Satoko for that entire race. So hopefully, with her runners going off right now into the respective rooms, Satoko finding Crash Fan as Charlie's going to go to Bowman. Satoko not resetting. And it's a good enemy set that he can do the Buster only zip. So I guess he's just going to go and do it.
Yep, with that knowledge, you're going to go for it. That's a bit high. That's not going to make. So it's going to do a little bit of resetting. If he takes too long, that's going to be another advantage that Charlieboy could gain. That looks like a better setup. And there we go. Second try, but definitely worth it. Able to get this zip. Definitely probably would have lost even more time if he had to do extra attempts. But Satoko is going to be able to skip these moving platform sections after this upcoming death warp here. Meanwhile, Charlieboy successfully getting the Buster only variant of the bubble zip and going to be approaching the Bubble Man boss door shortly, assuming the enemies aren't going to be too rude.
Well, we have Shotman and Krabs here, so, you know, rude enough as it is. Satoko is finishing their climb. No Shotman into the shot, so you know what? That's clear sailing into the bubble door we go, and we're going to find out who the first of our Robot Masters are in this seed, as Satoko is going to have to do the long climb on the right side, as there is a gear just away. And, well, there's Crash Man.
Definitely not an idiot this time around. He does act in the proper Crash Man fashion, so it's pretty much a damage race. Being not softly to the Buster, but Charlieboy able to navigate the crash bounce in such a way that he really didn't take much damage at all, and winds up getting rewarded with item 3 as well. So Charlieboy already off to an early start, while Satoko, while dealing with a longer stage, was able to still get the zip, so definitely not as long as he could be.
No, but ooh. Blockies in Flash section there. Gonna take the full damage here on the second one. As we got both. I just gonna make a quick note. Both runners started on different Robot Master stages, and ended up having the other's Robot Master, and getting an item, and both getting an item. In Satoko's case, item 1. So I think Satoko getting the better item, quote unquote. Advantage Satoko. Now he's going to go into Airman stage here next, which also kind of messed with him in the first seed. But, you know, hopefully better enemy sets will allow him to coast through much easier, as Charlieboy's going to go into the pit stop here, get that big energy, as he's taking a beating going down the Flash fall here, as the blockies were just everywhere, and a full set of blockies is just going to do a ton of damage regardless, as we got Vanilla Joe's essentially here at the end of Flashman stage here, and Charlieboy just wants to get by, but Joe's saying no, you're going to take this beating and like it.
Yeah, to add to your mention about Airman stage, yes, this Airman stage is far more kinder, at least in the first half, but the second half, where Airman was a bit of a struggle for Satoko, so hopefully we get a much kinder enemy set, as we see Quickman on Charlieboy's end, and Charlieboy with no E-Tank, so he's going to have to survive the onslaught of boomerangs. One more contact, yep, down goes Charlieboy, with Bubbles not doing much work, and they drained insanely quick, so Bubbles definitely not the answers for this fight. They're probably going to stick with Buster, so this is something that definitely could give Satoko a little bit of extra leeway, assuming Charlieboy takes his time on this fight.
Now, I don't blame him for trying to use Bubble, considering the fact that it kind of would just arc and hopefully connect with Quickman. But at the same time, it just took too much time, and there we go with Satoko Paul's buffering Woodman, trying to get him into this loop where essentially he's jumping up and down so he can damage him. But he missed the last one, but he is busted off. So down goes Woodman for Satoko. And that's we're pretty much even Steven. And there's item 2 in Airman stage for Satoko. So, and he's gonna go to Bubble next, so he'll end up having the full complement of items for this seed.
Yeah, this is already a far away improvement compared to the second seed. So Satoko already with an early advantage, but we still have yet to see what this item 1 is gonna be like. Honestly, in my case, I would check item 1 immediately to see if it's workable for Zips, because that's probably what Satoko is probably gonna be banking on right now. Item 1 is looking good, but we don't quite know the duration. But it's looking pretty fast on the height, so how long is it gonna last? I think it's close to... Yeah, that's pretty vanilla if you ask me.
Either way, he gets the zip as Charlieboy is going down the quick shaft here. And I'm pretty sure this is X-Men.
For Super Robot Wars, man, I'm surprised you don't recognize that music.
Well, you know what? It's early Super Robot Wars. It's not none of the ones that I really recognize from Super Robot Wars.
Well, we got a Boomman siding in Quickman's room. Not Buster Soft Week, but not really spamming those blades either. So, pretty easy fight for Charlieboy as that stage goes down. Of course, we know where our full complement of items are. So, we know that Charlieboy is not going to get an item in this case.
Nicely done on Satoko's end there. Crash being a soft weakness for Crashman there with essentially one health left, because one more bit of damage from Crashman and it would have been gunzo for him. Anyway, we need to also, on side note, just for our programming unrelated, we need to get Trumbe in this game. We also need to make sure it ends up being a boss music too. Unfortunately, you and I are the only ones who probably get that joke.
Charlieboy tried to use Atomic Fire on these blockers. Unfortunately, it is the charge variant this time around. It looked like it was a pretty lengthy charger, so Atomic Fire's usefulness pretty much drops thanks to that. Meanwhile, Satoko making pretty much the maximum use of item 1. And of course, having all items in tow, gonna use item 2 for this very lengthy fly. So this is gonna be a very fast metal stage, while Charlieboy is gonna have to deal with the peasants down below.
I'm sorry, you said metal stage? I'm pretty sure this is a Sonic stage.
You can decide. Well, it could be worse. But yeah, we don't.
Right, it could be Scrap Brain Zone.
We don't have our Sonic Spark from Quickman this seed, so...
No, we don't. we do need Dr. Wily, Dr. Robotic at some point, but that's regardless. That Crash Bomb is not doing what Satoko is hoping in reaching Airman, and it's not doing enough damage, so he's taking way too much damage as Charlieboy is taking on Airman on the belt. Now, here's the thing about Airman and the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt will override Airman's blowing back property, so you pretty much is the best case of just using the cluster against the Robot Master, as both our runners are dumpstering Airman now and going off to their next respective stages, with Charlie going to Heatman and Satoko going to Woodman next.
Yeah, Charlieboy with a minimal case scenario having item 3, so he's gonna be zipping through the second half of Heatman stage. Meanwhile, Satoko has the best situation, enemy set with notwithstanding, with both item 1 and item 3 having all necessary items to perform the good wood attempt here. probably, I don't think it has quick boomerang for the easiest available setup, but at the same time, you really don't need quick boomerang. It's just an easier means to set up for the wrap halfway through Goodwood. So, and Satoko is going for Dark Scrolls. One of the masters of Mega Man 2 should be able to get this very safely. Of course, if you do over-scroll, you are kind of in a soft lock risk, but if you're in a situation where you're you can get hit by the dogs,
Okay.
you can die and wind up kind of surviving in that kind of fashion as well.
Okay. He's got to be careful. Okay. I was worried because he didn't check first, and it was immediately thought I was like, well, here comes the fan fiend, and here goes race 3 for Satoko. But unfortunately, unfortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, there were Joes there, but he did make sure he didn't get touched by the mech, which would have been death.
Yeah, I think it was pretty safe. When it comes to enemy stats, whenever there are Joes and Armored Joes, there are absolutely no fans available, as we see Heatman, who's soft Buster Week in his vanilla room. But yeah, Joe Max and Joe, they are the set in those particular situations. So it was pretty safe for Satoko in that regard. Meanwhile, we got a flash sighting and a flash disappearance very fast on Satoko's side as Woodman is completed.
3 and 3 left. Off to Quickman stage, Satoko goes, as our runners are now treading the others' stages now, as pretty much both our runners are doing stages the other has already done. So here we go, treading those previous steps.
So Charlieboy will get item 2 here. Unfortunately, once again, it's a situation of we kind of wish we had this a little sooner, because we know that item 2 is in this vanilla spot. He winds up losing time for the Yoku blocks, where Satoko, when he does get to heat himself, will have that accessibility available. So that's going to be some time gain. And Satoko going for... This is dangerous. You may have Time Stopper, but this is a very dangerous set to use Time Stopper with, especially if it's not a full drainer.
It's not.
So he's going to have to hope that he can time this Time Stopper properly to loop around. And this is why we really don't depend on Time Stopper in Randomizer if you try to do vanilla zips like this. That's just the vanilla Mega Man 2 runners and Satoko just thinking, oh, I got all of the needs to zip through Quickman stage. I'm gonna go through Quickman stage just like normal. Yeah, Randomizer can just say no whatever it wants to.
And definitely said no there. So those vanilla senses, you kind of have to just throw in the garbage sometimes when doing the randomizer. So Charlieboy taking on Woodman now. We do know he's Buster Weak, and he's going to find out now. But he is hugging him a little too close there, and he does take his juice box. So 2 more shots here, and he finally dumpsters Woodman. Satoko about to enter the quick door. We do know there's a Metal Man waiting for him there.
Yeah, Metal Man should be easy test for Satoko. As we mentioned before, it's not spammable with the blades, so you can pretty much just pop shots pretty easily with the Buster, even though it's not Buster Soft Weak. But it can find a weakness thanks to the amount of weaponry it has at his disposal. Just like right now, if you find Metal being a soft weakness, once again, that's knowledge he can take into the boss rush and can use it to his advantage.
He's also a bit of a slow Metal, so he can actually take his time when he fires his shots and time them correctly, so then Metal Man is not jumping around and avoiding them. But, you know, off to Flashman stage next for Satoko. So our runners will have their respective long stages afterwards with Quick and Crash left. Satoko is now finding out about the Pokies. And even though they're the ones in the finals, it's just a point where I just gotta say, use Crash on Pokies. It helps way more than you think. Just getting rid of them on the stage, or just getting them to zip off screen, it just gets them out of the way. Well, Satoko's tried every weapon, and I believe that leaves Heat and Quick left for the Crash Balls.
Well,
There's
Sonic. I was about to say, speaking of Sonic themes, since we had Starlight earlier. We got some Sonic Adventure going on over here. Some Skydeck-A-Go-Go for all you Sonic fans that might be welcoming in on here. Shout out to Boys in Blue, by the way.
Admittedly, Sonic 1 and Adventure... Sonic 1, I do mean Sonic 1, and Sonic Adventure 2 are the other ones I really played.
Anyway, Charlieboy successfully navigating good with using that charge sheet to make the death fanfare, if you want to call it such, shorter. And should be taking out Flashman in relative short order since it is Buster Softly.
Yeah, so... I'm trying to look at the overall situation here. I think Charlieboy is going to have the quicker crash stage as opposed to Satoko going through heat stage here in a moment. So I think Charlieboy will be the first of our runners here entering their respective Wily stages here momentarily. Satoko finding Metal for that Quick Man and just dumpstering him immediately.
Well, you could argue that Charlieboy is going to have the quicker crash, but don't forget, Satoko's going to have the quicker heat. He pretty much has every tool at his disposal to make this stage pretty fast. Probably not going to try for the first room.
I don't think he knows. Does he know it?
He's setting up for it. I will. There you go.
Well, I guess we'll both.
It's not that I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping that he would know. It was just the lack of knowledge of the fact if he knew or not. So fortunately, especially considering how close this race is starting to become yet again, Satoko getting much more time utilizing every potential zip that's available.
Yeah, well, I will say he probably proved me wrong. Even though he's not listening to the broadcast directly, he might have heard it in this distance and said, "I'm going to show that bull what's what."
Yes, that is basically a randomizer exclusive zip due to the fact that item 1 can be anywhere, and if it's a good item 1, you can use it to your advantage in Heatman stage in the first screen, as Satoko has properly demonstrated. And with every other zip and item 2 available, Heatman, including Heatman himself, is pretty much just a walk in the park. Does still need to be a little bit careful. He can only take one body hit here.
Oh, air. Blowing that hot heat, the fire out. Charlieboy's now taking on Bubble Man in the crash room, and he's going to dumpster him real quick with the lemons, as both our runners are now entering yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that would be Kuryo-kun. You probably would know him under a different name, especially if you're familiar with River City Ransom, but that is besides the point, as we're going into the Dark Void that is supposed to be Wily's castle. But regardless of the matter, once again, we got a guessing game that we got to do. Once again, we got a dragon color, we got a dragon weakness, and we got a dragon design. And since it's been a little while, once again, here are our designs. We got our vanilla dragon. We got 2 pairs of different shades for our dragon. One 80s Macho Man shades, one anime style looking shades. We have our Oats dragon, we have our swag dragon, and last but not least, we have our Dragoncorn, which is our dragon with a cute little unicorn horn. So with that in mind, SB, would you like to start off the guessing?
I will, and apparently this is the Sonic seed because we got chemical plants zone now. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the Barbie Pink Dragon this time. He's gonna be weak to well, one of his weaknesses is going to be the charged heat, but I don't think either of our runners will check it. So I'm going to go for you know what? In honor of our good friend, geez, I'm blanking on his name. I'm picking the Bubble in his honor.
Shout out to Frico, by the way.
Thank you. I don't know why I blanked on his name.
Oh, Frico, please don't be hearing this.
So it's going to be a pink bubblegum dragon.
Oh, all right. I don't have much time, so red, wood, and oats.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna be the Dragon Coin. So pink, Dragon Lord, bubble.
That is the blue Dragon Coin that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. How about he's on quick? Nah, bubble.
Do you get Alicia weakness?
Yeah, you don't want to be standing.
I hate when runners just stick to the top of the ladder. I don't care with the pause buffer, that is insanely dangerous, but Charlieboy making much more time finding that buster was to go to the entire time, basically exiting right at the same time as Satoko. So once again, we got another type 1 in our hands, and both our runners start off Wally 2.
Catch our breath there for a moment. As our runners are now pulling out their item to just fly across the screen here to get their E-tanks and avoid a few, or pick up a few weapon drops here. We do know that our crash walls are pretty much narrowed down to heat and quick boomerang, so I don't expect them to do my special in Wily 4, but it'd be nice to see. As we got ourselves some Joes here in the hallway on our way to Pico here. Apparently this entire section's under construction, as our Springer enemies are also wearing Met hats. And Satoko has, for the time being, retaken the lead, but we'll see how the Pico units act in just a moment. And he does get Suicide dropped.
Finally got it, 1 out of 3. But what does Pico have to say about it? Well, he's gonna be easier looking when we got our blob Pico. Charlieboy going for the suicide drop unfortunately fails and wants to go right back to the checkpoint, giving Satoko a little bit more breathing room.
So it's heat, quick, and bubble.
Yeah, you're going for quick boomerang.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with the charge variant of heat, and if it's a large weapon consumption, yeah, out the window. Quick boomerang is definitely probably going to be the go-to with the large amount of weaponry that's usually available in your arsenal, whenever, even for randomizer standards, and you're pretty much just going to be spamming it throughout the entirety of the fight.
Oof. There we go. Let's see what the bubble. Well, I guess it wasn't good enough because Charlieboy did switch to boomerang there.
Yeah, bubble was terrible. It was multi-hit. It was multiple hits where you have 1 unit of bubble per tick. It was terrible.
I was saying it was 1 bubble. I was going to ask if it was 1 bubble per tick, but yeah, okay, good. Either way, we'll just say quick boomerang was just the way to go for this one. As Kunio's got to go see the doctor here because them pipes ain't looking good there, brother.
With some fitting sinister music to go with it, it's like a horror flick. They'll go opting to do pause buffer for safety, just to make sure that the absolute care is taken, because you don't want to lose any of that lead right now that Charlieboy has given from his death in Wally 2 going for that suicide drop.
Alright. Let's see if Satoko is on page 2 here, so he's going to check Crash and Metal and see if the Dozer is weak to it, as it finally makes an appearance this seed. Oops.
One of the weaknesses charge heat. Is it going to be the worst possible scenario? Is it going to be wood and heat?
Well, as long as it's not the expansive wood, and it is Crash for the other weakness. He did not check Crash.
That is true. So this is gonna be a bit on the lengthy side. I definitely probably will be checking Crash right about now, which he finally does.
I was about to say some terrible things because Charlieboy's now in the Gus fight, and he's gonna find out about that Crash bomb real quick here because he skipped the heat, was not even going to check it. So he's going to make up a bit of time here. I don't know what kind of explosion the Crash Bomb was, but I think they might know already. But either way, Crash Bomb dumpstering the Guts Dozer for Charlieboy, as Satoko is now slightly ahead of him as we enter Wily 4.
And Wily 4, which is usually a great equalizer, can be a bit of an interesting case. It's going to be dependent on how our boys execute what in the last block, once again being the fake one of our random block set.
Well,
Satoko does this time navigate the vertical wrap and continues down, making it to the checkpoint. Charlieboy is probably going to make his next attempt. We're going to see how it works on his end.
And he's going to find out the floor and pulling out the item 1 again. Lightning Lords in the first screen here, so that's a good sign for the third screen.
Hopefully it doesn't necessarily just insta-drop. Always take care. The enemy placements may not be exactly where they might be.
Well, he's going to use his item 2 anyway. So either way, he's going to drop through and ball spot for the victory. And into screen 4 he goes. So just got to wait for the ride to come around, and we out. Are we going to crash the wall?
Looks like it.
Going to crash the wall again.
It's going to be Alright. There can be situations where fan fiends can be in here and you be in a rough situation, but actually now thinking about it, would have been fine, because once again, thanks to our pause situation, we can pause into flat time stopper and be safe about it.
Well, we did find out finally that it was in fact quick boomerang for the wall weakness. We knew it was one of them, and it's buster for the boom beams. Was it 10 shots per beam?
Yeah, it should be 10.
And Charlieboy taking a death! Well, I hear something in the distance, and I gotta tell you, I think it's over for Charlie in this seed when it comes to this seed.
And for the viewers in chat, reminder, this is still a best of 5. So while you might see 2 heads on the screen for either runner, depending on who finishes first, they still at least have one more race to complete before a champion is crowned.
Yeah, so in the refight, Satoko goes, and appropriate music. As I said, when he took him on in Quick Man's room, you could space out those metal blades for that slow metal man. Yep, Charlieboy getting that greed. Again, gonna use that item 3 to crash the wall for himself, as Satoko is now on Boobly Man as his 3rd Robot Master. Off to 4, and Heat. Gonna use that air shooter weakness that he found in the stage earlier. Yeah, Charlie, we're going to take the time to try and find the wall weakness. Satoko found it. Well, it's pretty much down to 2 because he checked every weakness. And that was an ultimate weakness for Airman, it looked like.
But that air on air violence just blew Airman away.
Alright, well, that's 2 left for Satoko, or is it 4? Yep, 2.
Oh, Charlieboy needs to make this shot count quick. Oh, never mind. I keep forgetting that you can pause go through the shots if necessary. But when you see that kind of health and you don't have E-tanks, sometimes the mind can just play tricks and try to outrace.
Satoko just outright dumpstering the Robot Masters here, as he's now taking on the machine. He's didn't hit any of those blades, and we're on Windows. As our good friend Sinister Sama would like to say in this case.
Yeah, it's not often we get Buster back in the good old days. Depending on how good the days were, Buster definitely would have been a constant weakness, and it usually is the weakness for both phases, as we saw right now. But it used to be frequent. The chances has significantly been reduced, but this time we finally get one.
I don't think he's gonna get the 30 here. He'll be in 30, but he won't get the sub 30. But right now, it is Satoko's to lose, as he's just got to enter the alien door and take it down. He wanted to do wanted to crash the wall, but he did not have enough item 1 to do it. He only had 1 in tow, but into the door he goes. He might get this sub 30. He's gonna find the weakness quickly. This alien's got to hurry up and change and get his health up.
Going for a second page gambit is not it. It's on the first page. Is it Buster? Nope. The dig continues.
It's gonna be Heat. This is the kind of alien where we're just gonna end up being Heat.
And he's got to take care. He has no E-tanks.
You got check Heat. Wait, what? What didn't he use?
Did he
It was air.
With...
It was air. He must have missed his air shooter shot. But 3009 on the screen here. What's in the room?
Yep, 3009 official racetime.gg time. His light split is attached to race time, so that is the official time on Satoko's end as he wins race 3. Charlieboy getting the good news about the Waller machine, slowly getting to the alien room. Trying to go for the item 1 and go for the body 6 step into the door. All he just gotta do is just find the air shooter, and we're pretty much good to go. Call this race in the books, but right now it's Satoko's advantage. There he goes, finds their shooter, and there we go. That is race done. Official time on Charlieboy's in 31:50. So quite a bit of a long receipt for Charlieboy. A couple of costly deaths towards the end of the run. Pretty much spelled due for Charlieboy. But once again, we are insured a race 4. So right now, Charlie is behind the wall, as now he is on elimination points and got to make sure that he wins to ensure a race 5. Will that happen, or will Satoko take the championship? We'll find out in a moment. Set up, so sit back, hang tight. Race 4 coming up soon. Welcome back, everyone. This is your boy LV Creed here, alongside Siberian Bull 9, as we are about to begin race 4 of our best of 5. Don't worry, we know you see 2 heads on Satoko's screen. We do have one more race that Satoko needs to be our champion, especially since he won race 4 in a rather convincing fashion, capitalizing on a couple of mistakes on Charlieboy's end. So Charlieboy once again back against the wall on elimination point, needs to pull something like in match 2 and comes back to try to make Satoko go the full distance here. So SB, what we're hoping for this time around?
Hopefully nothing too chaotic, but at the same time, one of the advantages Satoko ended up having was he was able to find all his items early in the seed. As opposed to Charlieboy, he had only item 3 for a majority of points. Didn't get his items till near the end. Hopefully, this time, as our timer is now going down on Satoko's side, we'll see a little bit evening out here. But you know, all the matches have been super close. But right now, here we go. As both runners have selected their respective stages, Satoko going to Flash, Charlie going to Bubble. So here we go once again.
Yeah, both stages not particularly bad in the grand scheme, depending on enemy sets. You saw like in the last seed where you had blockies pretty much going barricading the small hallways of a Flashman stage, in which we now know from Satoko's side that it is not, the walls aren't busted weak. But yeah, these are still relatively short stages, relatively simple stages. Charlieboy fortunately getting a non-spawning shrimp here, as he can now safely try for this pause buffering bubble zip and does it successfully. But yeah, these should be, enemies notwithstanding, some pretty simple stages, and should be able to get to their respective robot masters in relative short order.
Alright, well, we do have crabs on the way for Charlie near the end of Bubbleman stage, which is, you know, relatively vanilla, but, you know, not high spawning. And it looks like he's just going to make it to the duel with E since they're low spawning. Satoko picking up that E-tank just before entering the Flashman door, but Charlieboy is in their Robot Master door first. I'm going to find out who's waiting for us in the Bubbleman room, which is in fact the Metal Man. Let's see if he gets to bonk his head on the ceiling. Yep, there we go. And he's busted us off. Meanwhile, we got a vanilla Flash sighting as oh boy, Flashman drank some coffee because he is off to the races right now.
Yep, definitely a ROM hack special, the quick moving Flashman that makes even Quickman blush, and he's not much to solve weak, so Satoko's gonna have to grind that out just a little bit. Does end up getting the kill and we're moving out of Flashman stage. And yep, none of our boys found our items, so right now we are itemless, as Charlieboy unfortunately goes to probably one of the worst early stages to find in Crash, while Satoko, not the worst, but definitely something you would like to have items with as he finds air.
This is the 3rd time in a row that he's got an air second. Well, he had air second in the air first in the second seed. I'm sorry, but either way, getting air early in all these seeds has not exactly been kind to Satoko. It's definitely that enemy set with the Crushers and the Birds in the way is not being exactly kind to him. It's got to start and go every time. Charlieboy getting the Buster Only zip in Crashman stage is now halfway through, as Satoko's at the halfway point of Airman stage, and hopefully the second long stretch here at the end, and we got Gorillas.
Oh yeah, the Space Monkey program is going off without a hitch, and thanks to that, Satoko is pretty much going to have a clean straightaway throughout the entirety of the stage. There seem to be no other enemies along, so this is a walk in the park, especially compared to the Airman stages that were in the previous seas.
Yeah, I was actually sitting. That's why I paused there just a moment, just to see if anything else would spawn. So, you know, sorry folks, those monkeys must go home. Anyway, there's Crashman, who is Buster Soft in Airman's room, so down he goes. And do we get an item out of Airman's stage? We get item 1.
Once again, Airman early, which could have been a pretty rough scenario, winds up yet again being a boon. Not item 2 this time, but item 1, and this is going to be pretty important. Satoko does find Woodman stage, but item 1, once again, as we leads to stress repeating, is our only randomized item in the randomizer. So if this is not a good item 1, good wood is not in play here. While Charlieboy does finish off Crashman stage, unfortunately does not get an item for his trouble, but ends up getting a worse proposition, finds Heatman early.
And once again, item 1 gives us the goods. So, dog scrolling we go for Satoko. And careful. There we go. Checking. Checking. Let's do it.
Right now, this is literally the best case scenario for Satoko. A very insanely good item 1, which you can do just about any and all zips. And they're pretty much all available, especially since he's done Flash and Air first. Every item 1 zip is basically on the table for every other stage. So Satoko, especially being one of the best vanilla Mega Man 2 runners, has pretty much all the tools in his arsenal, once again, enemy randomization notwithstanding, to just annihilate this seed. Right now, the championship is basically on Satoko's doorstep.
Oh, Charlie trying to get the zip underneath the block there, but unfortunately gets pushed out, and so he's got to do it again. As we got a Buster Soft Airman in Woodman's room, and he gone. Airman being kind of a bro there, giving him the good patterns as we get item 2 in Woodman's stage. And once again, the Shotmen are giving Charlieboy the business.
And a game over. Yeah, this is literally probably a situation where you do not want to be in. Back against the wall, one game away from elimination. Right now, it's early. We still got several robot matches to deal with, but it's definitely Satoko's race to lose at this point.
It's like you don't want to say it, but that lady is getting ready.
Humming those few bars as we speak. But yeah, we got Charlieboy making a detour out of heat, trying to get some better luck in Metal Man stage, while Satoko does find Quickman, once again getting all the early goodies there for safety, and now just going through the force beam section, which should prove no problem to Satoko. But of course, we do have our occasional Prodigy specials where we get a little clumsy and, die, but we do not expect it from either of our runners in this case.
Well, he tried to do it again. He got the extra life, but he didn't get killed. So you know what? Kudos to him. And he said it in the race time room. He's like, you know what? We're not going to do this zip anymore in the rando. So lesson learned on his part.
I mean, you can go for it. There are worlds where you can do those quick zips, but highly recommended due to the volatile nature of the items, the enemies, and so on and so forth. As we get a Bubble Man starting in Crickman's room, with Heatman about to be faced by Charlieboy and Metal. You know what I'm about to say, Heat and Metal.
Yeah. On the belt. Looks like we're gonna do the full dance here. And it may just be me, but I'd rather see this be the slow burn heat on the belt if we got to do the Buster dance. But unfortunately, it is pretty much vanilla-ish heat on the belt, as Charlie is trying to make sure he doesn't get tackled by this Heatman, because that's going to be another death. One more shot for him, and there we go, taking down the Heatman. As Satoko is starting Heatman stage, is there an item here too? There is no item in Heatman stage, so Charlieboy is still in search of his first item, and he'll get it out of Flashman stage. So both the runners now retreading the other's step.
So trying to gain all those extra little bonus points with item 1 as much as possible. Had a little trouble, but finally getting the zip. And of course, item 2 in hand, able to fly completely over Metal Man stage, as Charlieboy did not have it, not having any items available at that time.
Well, he's gonna have a few different weapons to use against this Heat Man in just a moment. I'm actually curious if it's gonna be this Time Stopper. But we're gonna try Crash first. Oh nope, never mind. Crash is good for him. It's good for me. Goodbye.
Yeah, definitely primary weakness. Crash Man pretty much blowing this flame out. We are out of Metal Man stage. And Satoko continue to press the advantage. Going to Crash Man. We have item 1. We're definitely going to try to do the second screen step.
Oh boy. We did a lot of these commentary for this game. But anyway, in the Crash Man stage we go, as we were trying to set up the zip here on screen 2.
Little bit of lag to kind of slow things down a bit, but literally nothing to give Satoko any kind of qualms. And yep, I was expecting it, pausing it to make sure that the Fan Fiends do not slow them down all that much. Winds up taking the suicide and going to the second portion of Crash Man stage as per the Death War problem.
Something Hornets.
A little bit of a slower tempo, but it's still a Hornet Man, most definitely. Satoko going on the left side, obviously because it does not have item 3 for the usual vanilla Crash coin, but having item 2 as a replacement, definitely not a bad thing to have. Definitely something that we see Charlieboy do a lot, but this time just on Satoko's end.
Yeah, the telly's right there. And again, not trying to be that guy, but come on, you see the telly there. You know, he made it up there, but you know, he definitely took a few more bonks than he probably should have. Charlieboy, no items in hand, is gonna have to go up into the treehouse and see what actually awaits him there.
And look like the Joe Clubhouse with some hat mats. I have not been seeing my favorite hat mats the entire time. I love those. I love that sprite for our crabs.
Well, you know, the races being as intense as they are, you really had no time because blink and you miss. Like that Woodman.
Yep, down goes Woody. Buster softly, Crash Man stage done. Item 3 is still MIA, and it's looking like it's in Heat stage.
And we pretty much by default figured out where it is.
To get through Heat Man stage, taking the game over again now. Unfortunately, it was unable to get any of the goodies, which definitely would have been helpful here into shoring up this Woodman stage. But once again, had to go to the top of the treehouse and eventually finally get into this Airman, which should be dealt with in quick order, and indeed it does. So yeah, Charlieboy has a lot of ground to catch up to. It's not completely insurmountable, but it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, he is 2 full stages and a half behind, so it's really insurmountable. We don't want to say insurmountable. We don't be too negative, but we just can't help notice and say the obvious.
I mean, we have to call it what it is. Insanely rough Heat stage put him really far in the hole, and just some unfortunate robot bastard sightings with no items it really put him way behind in the early goings of this stage. While Satoko, everything is just coming all Millhouse for him. Finding out this Metal Man's Buster softly, so it should be a relatively easy fight. Well, not getting battered and bruised along the way, but still, at this point, he's one Robot Master down, about to go to Heatman stage, with just about everything he really needs to make this stage really fast.
And the Saber Wolf's coming out soon.
Yo, shout out to the new, and finally a sequel to Bark of the Wolves.
Sadly, this theme is stuck in litigation, or I guess lawyer hell. Anyway, into the second half of He-Man stage, Satoko goes, gonna pull out that item 1 still and use it to zip through the ceiling here. Bye-bye.
And of course, following suit, as we all expected, we are not using Yokus when we got item 2. Our fantastic Bullet Bill here, being a bro this time, taking a break from trying to kill Mario as to help Mega Man get through the Yokus, and we should be going to our final boss in the Heatman boss room, and we should be very shortly going into our Raleigh stages. Taking out that crash bomb, find out it has a very low explosion duration.
Yeah. Alright. Charlieboy's gonna try it. No, he's scratching. He's scratching. I think Charlieboy is just doing things now.
Well, we'll see. We said it before. Yep. Those time scattered time stoppers are not the way to go to try to do those quick zips, as we saw in Satoko's Zen a few races ago. As we do get our
into the Tower of Fiends we go.
To be fair, I did not get to see who our Wily analog was, and looking like for the background, I think it was Oats. Regardless, once again we got a dragon. You know the deal. We gotta stuff to guess. Color, weakness, design. Guess I'm starting this one. So let's see. We're gonna have ourselves. I'm gonna steal your purple dragon, and we're gonna have. It's gonna be Oats dragon, and it's gonna be. You're gonna be weak to Leaf Shield.
Okay, I thought you were gonna 100% steal from me.
Not completely.
Yeah, you got 2 of the 3. I gotta hurry up here now. You know what? Since you're borrowing from me, I'm gonna borrow from you. It's gonna be a Monochrome Dragon. And it's gonna be weak to Quick.
What's it gonna look like though?
Gray. What's it gonna look like? It's gonna be the Swag Dragon.
Satoko failing the item 1 uses is completely out of item 1, so no vertical wrap for to get to this point here. But we're about to find out what our dragon is gonna look like here. In short order, while Charlieboy is gonna make the run back to Heatman, trying to make up for as much lost time as possible. But well, there's Swag Dragon, but it's green.
It's 100% green. It ain't Quick either. That was Bubble, I think. Not Leaf. Well, at least it's a good air shooter this time.
Oh yeah, that is definitely the best air shooter you would want to have for a Mega Dragon. Good horizontal distance, maximum 3 tornadoes, able to hit all of them, very quick dragon.
Certainly not the correct X game. Certainly not the correct Mega Man game. But anyway, feeling as crappy as we are at this time, into Wily 2 Satoko Ghost.
We don't want to forget our raiders. We did have a raid from LTTP Restreams with a rating of 15. Welcome to the Mega Man 2 Randomizer, where we are at the close. We are at the grand finals between satokoaddict and Charlieboy. Even though we...
I was gonna say the hat's chasing him.
Yeah, as it on screen, it is 2-3, but it is best of 5. So Satoko is basically on his way to a victory if this lead continues.
I'm curious where you guys found this metal blade. It looks like a cogwheel.
That is the metal blade from Rockmando Constantine. But yeah, it's the metal blade from Rockmando Constantine.
Twitch chat, calm down over there, okay? We've been good to it's two crash bombs. We've been good to you all night. You just really need to calm down over there.
Well, come on. At this point, we're at the point where this is going to be the last race of our tournament, potentially. Twitch chat want to make themselves known. We can at least afford that at least once.
But either way, yeah, I guess we're just gonna use it as it is. Sometimes when you find quick boomerang as a weakness, you're just gonna use it, and that's the case with this Pico, because it was gonna be 2 crash bomb shots per unit, and that definitely wasn't the way to go.
So that's our Pico units down, going to the potentially dirty areas of Wily 3. While Charlieboy still trying to make as much time as possible, the item one just a little too lengthy, and wound up missing the window to try to do a vertical wrap.
Oof, that's some nasty pipes right there, Wily.
Boy finally making the item 1 across to the ladder proper. Trying to use item 2 to mitigate as much climate as possible, but the enemy's just not having it. So onto the dragon, Charlieboy goes. Meanwhile, Satoko getting into those very unsanitary waters of Wily Stage 3. About to see what our guts tank is gonna be, look like, and what that weakness is gonna be.
Well, it's the regular dozer. And it's weak to metal. Charlieboy.
Yeah, find that air shooter. About to make his way to Wily Stage 2. But Satoko, once again, basically a 2-stage lead. Starting in Wily Stage 4.
Up we go. Alright, well, so far nothing too treacherous going up, but you know, we have to wait for the anxiety rooms coming up here. As let's see what our fake floors here look like. Is it going to be the back one again? It is not this time.
It's the one before it.
It's the 2 middle ones.
I'm trying to wedge them.
Yeah, he's not doing it. Surprised he didn't switch to item 3, but either way, he's gonna go past it. He's got item 2 in hand. He's gonna avoid the false void there, and into the halfway point we go of Wily 4. Gonna zip on through the hallway here.
Excellent. This is the, and we find Fan Fiends here. It's kind of a dangerous situation, but it depends on if our more functional weapons can kill them from below.
Yeah, whether or not metal and how about wood? That's not the one you want to work with. Try wood. He's not going to try wood. Alright, well, you know what? You got the job done.
Yeah, indeed. VC fan fiends, it's really only the fan fiend to the right that's the only danger, since the wind blowing is always gonna blow to the left. So the other two that are on the far left, they are no problems at all. So it's only that one that was on the far right that's the danger. Speaking of dangers.
Just barely not getting caught there. But now we got to do the hunt here. It's two of these shields for the walls. And now we got to find the weakness for the beams. Bubble. It's bubble. All right, and it's definitely a bleeder.
Charlieboy flying out to. Unfortunately, gonna get crabbed. Making the item to fly worthless. Gonna have to make the walk throughout the remainder of the stage.
Alright, well, Satoko making quick work of this 4th seed, and he is well on his way to the podium here, as he's got to take down the refights here, and another Buster Soft Weak metal, as he please just come back down. Just take this last lemon. Do it. There we go. Thank you. Alright, anyway, but yeah, Satoko well on his way to the podium here, as he's just gotta get through these refights in the machine. I do wish in our penultimate race here that we could have had a better track for refights, and we already took down Metal Man, so there won't be any changes to the track.
Ain't too bad, but you kind of want to have something a little bit more epic, but it is what it is. The rando's gonna rando, and we love it for it. Although it's like a theme that's gonna be your favorite to someone. Who knows? This might be one of your favorite tracks that's playing right now.
So Togo just deciding he's just gonna go through everything here. Not even gonna. There you go. Pop in the juice box here. We know this Woodman's Buster Soft. He's gonna have to refill that crash bomb though before he enters the machine fight, but you know, I think he's got a couple more Buster Soft Robot Masters left. I don't know if it's Quick Man or not. Just trying to remember what he used. Was it? Yeah, it was metal. There we go. There we go. Doing exactly what I thought he needed to do and refill that crash. And we're gonna use this air shooter again. Oh, well, that was last seed. Was it? It was Crash.
This should be our final Robot Master down on Satoko's end. All that's left is a wall machine for this particular stage. And we gotta find out that if it is a Buster Weak boss or not.
Well, it's not weak to Crash, as he was already checking that page. But we do have a metal weakness for the first part. How about the second? Yep.
And look at the time that Satoko is making right now. Satoko is blitzing through the sea.
Yes.
Just want to end this sucker quick. As Charlieboy takes a death, and for the most part, that's probably gonna be all she wrote. Probably gonna think he's too far behind, and he would definitely be right. Satoko on the way to victory road, onto championship point. More than likely going to be our winner for this 2024 edition. And crashes the wall, and Satoko just do the darn thing and finish the job.
Alright, one more weakness to find, as we're already on page 2, and it just couldn't be Crash Bomb, but it's metal! So page 2 gamble it is, and 28 even on the timer here in the race time room. It is indeed in the race time room. 28 even for Satokoaddict.
And yeah, with the championship already crowned, and especially after that death, Charlieboy gracefully concedes, forfeits, and that is it. our official winner for the 2024 Speedgaming Live Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament, satokoaddict96. Congratulations. As we tried to get our runners in for our final interview of the race of the entire tournament.
By the way, Satoko apparently has been doing this on 3 hours sleep, but I think he's gonna go to bed.
That's fine. Satoko has had a very busy week. Second place in the Vanilla Mega Man 2 80% tournament, 80% difficult tournament, and now first place in the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament. One of the current greats of the Mega Man 2 scene, Satoko Addict. Once again, congratulations. Glad you took part in this randomizer tournament. And if I'd like to have you again, you are more than welcome to come back for further races and further tournaments if you so see fit. But for right now, we do have a Charlieboy, our second place finisher, in the Discord. Assuming if he can get unmuted, I would like to know how he's feeling.
Oh, yeah, me, choke artist. Yeah, choke artist Charlie in the house. You know, I'm all right, man. I'm doing good. All things considered, you know, I wanted to win, but you know, Satoko is a very worthy opponent, and you know, man, he I'll tell you what, this last race with a 28 flat, man, that's faster than my PB. So yeah. I mean, what a guy! Good stuff. You know, and that goes to show you guys who are watching. Vanilla skills do indeed transfer over pretty well to the rando. So come give it a try if you haven't.
Yeah, they can from time to time, but of course you saw the situation where I know you tried it, but Satoko also tried in another scene. Y'all tried to do the quick zips with a questionable flash. Both y'all paying the price for it. So yeah, the vanilla seals can't transfer, but sometimes you kind of need to rein it in depending on the situation. But to Charlie's point, he's still not wrong.
Hey, I tell you what, that would have worked if I would have flashed just a second later. But because I've done it with the short flash before, the trick is to wait halfway down the last screen or most of the way and then hit it there. There's like maybe one that's too short for you to do it, and it's really risky. It takes a lot of practice, but so just a little bit later than what I did. Obviously, when I did it, you know, I jumped over to the next screen to wrap, and then boom, I got hit. But I mean, you can still even flash, and then the timer runs up. You flash again on that next screen after the jump, just as long as you've got a little distance on it, and you won't die, and you can actually make that happen. But like I said, it takes a good amount of practice, and yeah, it's not the safest thing to go for in races. But I tell you what, I knew I was up against a great opponent, so I wanted to pull out all the stops, and yeah, unfortunately, some of it ended up biting me in the tail. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah. I wonder how far. What was it, race 3 when I died with that suicide drop? If how I mean, it probably wouldn't have mattered too much, but the race would have been at least a minute and a half closer. It might have mattered.
Yeah, that was about the time wasted when you had that particular death, and you had another extra death that proceeded a little bit after, but it's still rated to about a minute and a half time loss for that match. For that match 3 loss. But regardless, each match was pretty close, especially match 1. Heated, both of y'all was pretty much neck and neck, less than 20 seconds away from each other. Once again, both of y'all have done a tremendous showcasing of some of the good and the bad that the randomizer can dish out. And I think for those that are watching, I hope they were very much entertained by both of your skills. And what more can be said about how this whole tournament turned out?
Yeah, I mean, dare I say, you know, play with fire, get burned type thing. Happened a little bit. Other than that, I mean, you know, I gave it my all, and yeah, it just goes to show even grizzled veterans that that are really good and run this stuff all the time. Well, really good, I say, quote unquote, and run this a good amount. Can even slip up or catch nerves, or I mean, I was constantly wiping my hands from like having sweaty palms a bit, and I mean, but no excuses. You know, I performed the best I could. RNG, nerves, all that stuff coming to play, and you know, the better man won this time. So yeah, I mean, great games to Satoko. Unfortunately, yeah, it's really late over there for him, so he went ahead and took off. And but yeah, other than that, I mean, congratulations on winning, and hope you join us in the future.
SB, you got any other comments or questions that you would like to at least ask Charlieboy while he's here right now?
I think we've covered just about as much as I think we can cover without, you know, asking Satoko questions. But, you know, I understand it's late for him. But, you know, Charlie, you almost did it. But, you know, you're the one who said it. But just came up with a short.
I said let the better man win, but I mean, I ain't saying it's debatable type thing. But that's just an expression, of course. You know, I'm not saying he's better. I'm not saying he's worse. I mean, obviously he is a little better. He's way better at vanilla. I'll give you that.
He wiped the floor with you.
Yeah, there you go. Current situation. Yeah, one could definitely argue that. So,
but yeah, no, really, the first two races all the races were close in their very own respective, but the first two, whoo boy. But you know, these last two, I don't know if it's the pressure or whatnot that got to you, but it's like Satoko just got into a zone, and he just took over.
Battle of attrition, maybe. I don't know. Like, man, I mean, 4 seeds. It's been a while since I've done 4 seeds in a row, or 5 even. They probably would have had to do another one or whatever. You know, fatigue is definitely a factor and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I guess to wrap up this tournament here, I do want to mention an event coming up next weekend, I believe, October 5th. Snape and Chrissy could probably give you more details, but they're like pixels for Pixels for Peace. It's an event. It's not Pixels for Peace. It's something else. Some other.
It's either way. It's being run by.
Something similar. Yeah. So if you got, I mean, tournament. Just because the tournament is over doesn't mean the events don't happen sporadically throughout the off season and whatnot. Pixels for People. Sorry, Pixel for People. That's the one it's called. Snape, Chrissy, and you could probably find more information about that in the Tournament Randomizer Discord, or just the regular Randomizer Discord, or through them, or through me. I'll figure it out. Yeah. Shout outs to everybody who joined this year. Shout outs to Bull for hosting the tournament. Shout outs to Creed and Bull for this final commentary. Shout outs to Speedgaming for allowing us to race on the network. Yeah, and shout outs to Satoko once again for winning. Congratulations, my man, and enjoy it. And hopefully I can come back next year and be a little bit stronger or something. I don't know, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the end for our hero Charlieboy. We'll see. But I will continue to work on stuff. I just don't know if I'll be able to join the tournament next year again or not. I'll try, but we'll see. Thanks for having me again, and thanks for watching.
And side note, it is Carter Freak who's running that marathon, so I believe it's going to be on his channel. But regardless, Charlie, again, thank you for joining this tournament and doing all the things you do to help develop the randomizer since Duckfist gave us his blessing to keep putting this randomizer through its paces. And again, join us again next year. And I'm going to take this time to promote the next tournament I'm running for Speedgaming Live, which is going to be the Mega Man X 100% tournament, which is going to be the in-person tournament that's happening next weekend down in Herndon. So if you're going to be there in Herndon, sign up to the challenge page that I should have already pulled up to drop in the channel. if you're going to be there in person for the Mega X 100% tournament. So if you feel like joining that, do it. The sign up will be open until noonish on Thursday. I believe it's the 3rd.
Hey, I tell you what, y'all fly me out there and I'll join it. I'll join the SMB3 Rando tournament too, and then maybe even you and me could have like a personal race of this game or something. A restream, not restreamed, whatever. I'd be totally down if I had the funds to make it. But
right. That is my potential goal. Hopefully next year to find a way to see if we can get this randomizer into the in-person tournament next year. But we'll see what happens. But that's the long-term goal for me, at least when it comes to this randomizer and this community.
Yeah, y'all come stop by my personal stream during the alt season and whatnot. I'm gonna try to stream some development, like sprite development and whatnot, and all that. And hey, shoot me some donations, and maybe I can make it out to one of these offline events. That'd be great. But yeah.
And from there, I think we can go ahead and begin closing out. Once again, thank you everyone on Speedgaming 2 that took the time to see this fantastic conclusion of our randomizer tournament for this 2024 season. For all the people that were involved, to all the racers that participated in the tournament, to our runner-up Charlieboy, to our champion Satoko for their excellent showcase. Of course, Speedgaming once again allowing our tournament to be graciously showcased on their family of networks and channels on Twitch. So once again, thank you for allowing us to have this showcase yet again for another year. Of course, thank you to Siberian Bull 9, not only my co-commentator, but also the organizer of this tournament. Ran smoothly, and everyone behind the scenes. Just once again, thank you all for joining us, and hopefully we will continue this next year in one way, shape, or fashion. So with that, for Charlieboy that's currently in the interview booth, Siberian Bull 9 in the co-commentary booth, this is your boy LV Creed, concluding this tournament season for the Mega Man 2 Randomizer. Until the next year or until the next time period, we'll see you then.
Well, see y'all around. Thank you guys. Later.